was the best one yet. Was it you, me, or the hammock?
I vote for me.
I vote for the hammock.
Where are you going?
Taking a shower. You gotta try it sometime.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tracy Savage, Debbie from Friday the 13th, Part 3. You are watching Death Curse Society.
Rock and roll!
6 o'clock already, it was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Woo! Here we are again, folks. It's Death Curse Society with another Monday Maniacs. I'm Red Crank. I got Zigzag. I got the Colonel, and I got FaZe down there. What's up, gentlemen?
Damn shit. What's going on, boys?
Another fucking hot as balls Monday.
Yeah,
Ugh.
we're in the
Rough
heat
out,
dome,
Red Hook.
boys.
Shh. What are you talking about? I was sitting in that fucking greenhouse where it was 20 degrees hotter. I had to hit the pool the minute I got back here, man. It had to be done.
Hey, choose
Oklahoma.
choose your jobs wisely. Choose
I
your
get it.
jobs wisely.
Yeah.
It's storming here.
Let's
Not that cold. Or hot.
It's storming. You're all right then. Yeah, that's all right.
It can't be hot when it rains.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
can.
not bad.
Yeah, you can. You can still be hot when it rains. Well, what an interesting week it's been since we talked to you last. We're not going to really get into any of that. And I do want to say, let's keep any political stuff out of the comments
Yes.
tonight, please. I understand there was some horrible shit that went on this weekend. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to make you forget it for a couple hours and talk horror movies and enjoy the community that we have built with all of you. So, yay! Anyway, I did want to start with that because, we will FaZe or I will be removing any comments that get too far into any political territory. So, are we cool on the rules, everybody?
Nope. Just
Nope.
4 3 hours.
Go fuck yourself, Colonel.
Colonel.
Well,
No. Anyway, how was your week, Colonel? Speaking of,
Not too bad. Not too bad. Said worked. Seen a movie. Did I like it? Did I not? We'll find out soon. And then just spent some downtime with the kids. Like I said, it's too damn hot to do anything.
yeah,
Tried to mow my yard yesterday. I didn't realize it was going to storm, but it did. My batteries weren't charged, so it's fucking knee high. It's going to be fun on Thursday when it doesn't rain again.
great.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
I know, boring adult shit. I know, but
man, yeah. I was expecting something. I was expecting more from you, and I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either. All right,
Never.
Ziggy, how about you? How was your week?
it was cool, man. Laid low and tried to stay cool. But weekend, we got together with a couple of guys from the show. We got BK out there to had a poker game over at his brother's house, and it was a good time, man. Just getting in a room with like 12 guys to play cards again. It's been like
Yep.
too long to play with
Yeah.
a nice
Happy
turkey.
birthday to BK, by the way, over the
Yes.
weekend, right?
Mm.
And Luke tonight.
Luke, yep.
Is that
Luke.
right?
Yes, sir. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
guys.
Nice.
FaZe, any exciting pizza deliveries on your weekend?
Not really. People need to tip more. That's all I gotta say regarding that.
That's in general, man. People
Cheap bastards.
need to tip more.
Oh,
I will
yeah,
ask
no.
you. I will ask this though of you guys: if you go to a sandwich shop or just a coffee shop, do you tip the person that makes your latte or makes your sandwich? Like when they flip that screen around?
I'll throw the
Ziggy?
change in there, then usually a couple extra bucks. Sorry,
Do
I
you?
didn't realize you were gonna throw
All
it,
right.
but
Ziggy, how about you?
What do I tip those people? You know, maybe if I have it, if it's like the change coming back is a couple of bucks or something, sure, probably do. But if it's like, you know, it's situational. Every delivery, I tip. Good.
Oh, every delivery, yes. That's a standard. But Colonel, how about you, Tightwad? What's your call?
Honestly, in that situation, I don't. Like I said, I'm at a restaurant. They give me a service. I tip. Delivery, I tip. If I'm just doing pickup, you don't tip people at McDonald's. Why would I tip them for making? To me, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If they're not making an hourly wage, well, I will start tipping from here on out. But I assume they're making hourly. So,
All right, there we go. That went almost exactly the way I thought it would. So. No, I went to get a sandwich. Right, I went to see the movie again this afternoon. Picked up a sandwich on my way home, just at this place next to me, and I hadn't been there in a while. And sure enough, they flipped the screen around, and I'm like, okay, here's an extra 10%, whatever, you know. But it always kind of like I see that debate a lot online. Like, what would you know? Why are we tipping this extra? Blah 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 blah.
When I'm at the pizzeria, I would say 20% tip that come for carryout.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
And
or
that's
you mean
fine.
for delivery?
No. For
for
when it
carryout
shows
even?
up, yeah,
Okay.
some people will tip and most don't. You know, it's okay.
All right, cool, gotcha. All right. Well, damn. I have really nothing else to talk about then.
I just like that. I'm just trying to figure out how you said that went down exactly how I thought it would. What the fuck?
Well, I called you a tightwad right before you said you wouldn't tip. So, not
Well, true.
not the coffee people. So
They ain't paying my bills. Like I said,
Yeah.
provide me a service, you'll get a tip.
Yeah.
I don't tip the kids at McDonald's. I'm not going to tip you for making a sandwich. Like,
And I knew that would be what you would say. It's not a
believe it or
derogatory
not,
thing.
I'm a
It's
pretty
just-
good tipper when I'm getting a service because
Yeah.
I understand that's how you make your living. If
I just
Faze
know-
comes to my door with a pizza, he's going to get at least a 20% tip.
I
just know
think
my
if
people.
Baze goes and he delivers a pizza and he doesn't get a good tip, he should be allowed or permitted to say to the customer, "Fuck you." Right?
There we go.
I mean, the main
Okay.
problem is getting any tip right now. There are a lot of stiffers right now.
Yeah, I would imagine in the service industry anymore, there's a lot of people that tip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I had to get in on the fun.
yeah, well, of course, got buttons to push here.
I love what Peter Anthony said. I always tip prostitutes.
Twice.
Yeah, where's the rim shot? Damn it!
Oh, Lord. Oh, it still just sounds terrible.
Sorry.
That was on his end too, so I
Yeah,
don't know what's going on with that.
it just can't handle these
It's
high
been a
tech
problem.
boards, man.
Now the gang's all rolling in. We got Gory Tiger in here. We got Lorena. We got Alex. We got Adam. Adam, see you in a couple weeks. If you haven't heard, I'm going to be joining Zigzag and maybe even FaZe, I think.
I'm planning on
up-
that.
Yeah, up in Detroit here in a couple of weeks for Motor City Nightmares, a non-business trip, which will be interesting.
Civilian.
Yeah, so a little escape from the Oklahoma and a vacation. So, but we're gonna have a good time. You know, curses will abound at Motor City Nightmares.
Curses for
Tons of curses.
Curses
coming.
for everybody.
coming to Illinois.
We'll be throwing
How near
pocket
you?
curses in people's faces, like pocket curse, and just keep
Hey.
fucking walk by.
You'll
Hey,
have,
we're over here. We're over here.
Yeah, you'll have so many curses thrown your way, you'll feel like you've been pegged all weekend. So
Oh
it-
yeah,
it's gonna be
great.
it's gonna be a wild wild weekend. Who else
All
is here? Let's see.
Yeah,
Brian's
yeah.
here.
Yeah, he's here. He's literally right here.
No, different
Oh, another
Thanks.
Brian.
Yeah, different Brian. Brian Sanchez. What's up, everybody? What's up, Brian? Thanks for tuning in. Luke's here. Grizzly's here. Bill's here. Paula.
Oh yeah, hey, stop right there. I need to publicly apologize to the great folks at Bell's Fancy Creations. I unboxed my wreath on the air, as you well know, right on this show. And we got another set of prizes for another Curse Your Luck round in the future. And the box was just fucking destroyed when it got here. So I said, all right, I'll throw it in this other box. I still have it. It's in great shape. And as I opened it up to look inside, what the fuck is that? So I look down there. There's two perfect hands that look just like the hands on the cover of the City of the Living Dead DVD. I saw some glued spots on the sign that's on the poster there, but I was like, oh, okay, probably got hot in here. Well, the hands melted off the fucking thing. So now I've reattached them, and it's that much better. So
Nice.
yes, the bar wasn't even. It was awesome without the fucking hands. Now it's untouchable, man. It's the top one.
I haven't
So
seen
thank
this
you
yet.
again,
So.
Bell's Fancy Creations. Yes,
Send me
I
a pic-
switched the
send me a
screens
picture of
around. Yeah, I'll get a picture. I'll post that shit on the page. Don't worry.
Let's see.
Got a bone sticking out of the bottom.
Huh.
Awesome.
Sounds like Peter's got a bone sticking out of the bottom too.
Meh.
No.
The rim shot doesn't work anymore. Sorry.
No.
BK is here. Did I mention? No, I didn't mention him. Trying to go through these now. I've
Yes,
lost my
BK.
place.
Poker wasn't
Corey's
kind
here.
to him on Saturday.
Oh yeah, BK. We'll be seeing you soon. Corey's here. Corey's got a question. Corey, we'll get to, since it's off topic, we'll get to that question. Even though we haven't started our topic yet, we'll get to that question here later on after the
He's
show.
got good topics too. He's got good questions.
Yeah.
Very good.
Alex is here. Patricia's here. If I missed you, I'm sorry, guys. I think I've called out all. Well, no, I'm not near the bottom yet. There we go. There's Peter. What's up, Peter?
Yeah, Peter fucking loved this movie, man. He's waiting to give his opinion for sure.
Wait, Peter loved this movie?
He loved this fucking movie.
Huh. Okay. Well. All right. Yep. That looks like everybody. So we're going to be talking about Longlegs tonight. We will be trying to keep it spoiler-free-ish for a little while at least.
Good look.
Yeah, this one might be tough, honestly.
Well, we got it just in case.
There's a lot going on.
Like I said, just like Maxine, I'm going to try to go as long as possible without spoilers, but I will have spoilers.
Oh, yes. No, we will have.
Hopefully, after the 9 o'clock hour, I can hold off till then.
Yeah, we'll have spoilers. So if you haven't seen it
Before
yet,
you-
stick around. Watch for the spoiler alert sign to pop up, and we'll warn you to get out as soon as we can. But first, we of course got to thank our members, our final girls and guys: Chris, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Tyrone. Yeah, and I guess BD is over there somewhere.
He's right over there.
Nice.
Our Crazy Ralphs, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And, of course, our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
Trips up on that one every fucking week. That's the other thing I needed to quickly mention. I was I'm very excited for this zombie presentation coming with Fabio Farisi doing the score with his band to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit has a fucking date listed. And then, so I keep seeing New York, Chicago, Cleveland, everything's getting announced, and I'm just like on all these posts, Detroit, question marks. Finally, the guitarist reaches out and says, hey, man, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I was like, I will see you in fucking Cleveland, okay?
I was
Don't
gonna
worry
say.
about it. And so I got some tickets to that. And actually, Rick already had me covered with tickets. We got regular tickets, but I was like, I'm going to go ahead. I upgraded us up to the VIP. So whatever he wants to do with his tickets. Yeah, well, hey, we get to meet the guy. I have a request in for interview, so Rick has agreed to be my cameraman if we get granted this. But yeah, so it's going to be great, man. Zombie is coming to a town near you with Fabio Parisi doing the live score. Colonel saw the Beyond last year. Colonel, right?
Yeah, except for like so it was just composer's cut of the film. It wasn't like live score being played during the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Just composer's cut of the film.
Holy shit, this is like they're performing. So can't wait.
By the way, if you guys want to become a member and help support the DCS, you can head on over to our website at deathcursesociety.com, check on the membership tab, and get some details there. Choose a tier, and yeah, we'll take money out of your debit card or your checking account every month. It's just that simple. Yeah. And, of course, thanks to our associate producer, C-Phase, down there in the corner. He's going to be moderating the chat, helping us out with different things, and letting us know when we go off the rails, which is likely tonight.
It's already happened.
Well, yeah, it's already happened because we're almost 20 minutes in and we haven't even fucking started talking about the goddamn movie yet.
I mean, this is true. It was a long intro, but that's all right.
Yep. I'm pretty sure most people are out there saying,
Well, we're waiting.
Yeah, maybe so. I just hope no new people were watching and being like, these guys aren't even talking about the fucking movie. What the fuck is the problem?
bunch of airbags. All right.
It's okay.
All right, let's get into it. Longlegs, let us know in the comments if you have seen it. If you haven't seen it, also let us know if you are wanting to see it. And if you aren't, or even if you are, maybe one of us will change your mind tonight. So, I have no idea what these guys think. Also, because
I'm curious.
We haven't talked all weekend, have we?
Dude, like I said, Saturday was 9 to like 3 a.m. for me.
Yeah, we played Thursday. So I talked to Ziggy and Faze on Thursday, I think.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it yet.
We didn't talk about the movie then. So, all right. Well, first, as usual, I always like to talk about anticipation, and I threw in marketing on this because the marketing, I think, helped amp up the anticipation for some. You know what? I'm going outside the box this time. I'm going to ask Faze what his anticipation was for this film and what he thought of the marketing.
I was interested. Trailers were fucking everywhere. I mean, every movie you go see, you pretty much were guaranteed a Longlegs trailer, at least at my theater.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, it was one of the few trailers that are playing right now that is like, okay, I'm kind of interested in that one. Because, I mean, like you and everyone's been saying, the marketing was excellent for this movie. It was interesting. But yeah, overall, I try not to keep like my hype too high, like always. Maxine was a bit of a disappointment, so I didn't want to follow it up with another disappointment, so I tried to keep it in the mid-level. That's it.
It's hard though, isn't it? Sometimes
it is. It's going to be impossible for Romulus, for me at least.
Right.
10.
I got his score already, unless it's awful.
Unless it's awful, yeah, you never know.
I have faith in that in Fede Alvarez.
With Alvarez, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that's going to be pretty good.
Those trailers look pretty fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit. We all know.
Good.
Jesus
Fuck
Christ,
you,
negative fucking Nancy over there. Just a tip. Let me think. Yeah, well, like you just said, Maxine last week was, I'll be honest, a little bit of a letdown. Still a great movie, but I had high hopes for that movie. This one I had high hopes for as well, but I think it kind of delivered, at least for me. My high hopes, though, were based on that first series of marketing trailers that they did in January. We even covered it on the website each week when they would release a new teaser. We didn't know what the movie was. You know, I speculated with the articles that were talking about the little teasers they were putting out, that it was this. There was also a possibility it was a different movie, but it ended up not being that. I think Cuckoo, but it wasn't that. And just those few little trailers alone, they didn't give away anything about the movie hardly at all. It was basically little vignettes about the families that were killed, which I thought was just a great idea. And then the marketing continued with, you know, the actual trailer, which was very good. Again, didn't really tell you a whole lot about the story. And I know that's one of our main complaints, especially with modern day trailers, is you can look at the trailer and basically it tells you the entire movie almost. Halloween 2018 did that. I know for a fact we basically broke that down, and yeah.
80% of these trailers give you the fucking whole the big points.
Right.
There's two guarantees of trailers today. Too much of the story, and they're going to use a classic song, slow it down, and make it sound scary. It's guaranteed.
Right. Ziggy, jump in with your anticipation and the marketing thoughts.
I don't know if it's Blair Witch level, but it's fucking the tier right below it.
It's close.
Man, these guys did it right, getting the hype going and doing that unconventional thing. They put up a billboard with a fucking phone number on it to call and hear Nicolas Cage as Longlegs talking. I'll be honest, man, it made my hair stand up a little bit. I was like, okay, that's creepy as fuck. That was fucking, I got to see what this dude's about now. I like it. This guy, you know, and we'll get into him later. This Longlegs is a great idea. So, after that, I was well into it. I saw the trailers you saw, and I went, that gave me absolutely nothing. I don't know what this is. I walked in. I'm high anticipation all the way. Looking forward to it at the time.
Very nice. How about you, Colonel?
Well, it's already been said 3 times, so I was excited for it.
And that's all you're going to give me?
It's all been said. I mean, but I'll admit it was good marketing, not Blair Witch level. That Blair Witch level marketing is God level.
Well,
nothing's ever going to reach that again.
I mean, you know why? Because
they did their best, and I'm with Crank. They were close. So they weren't going to reach it, but they were close.
They didn't have the benefit of it being the dawn of the internet.
No.
That's the only difference.
The timing is the thing that really helped Blair Witch. They used something that no one else knew what to do with it, basically.
And that's the thing. I was smart enough with the internet to go and search these pages that they created. But it looked like actual historical shit, dude. It looked convincing.
Well,
man, I would have loved to see your search history back then, Zach.
I was at the radio station, dude, so it was pretty safe.
Music, porn. Music.
I think a superhero. I go to Spider-Man hype a lot and stuff like that, but I had a lot of movie sites. Upcoming horror was probably my horror connection then. And but the fucking Blair Witch stuff, dude, that was goddamn epic, man.
Well, now this movie also did do something Blair Witch did. They had a website. I don't know if you guys went to this at all.
I did not.
But it was pretty much kind of like an early blogger's case breakdown, comparing all these murders and giving details about each murder. And it talks about all the different families. I want to say it's the birthdaymurders.net is the website. I'll throw the link in the comments there for you guys. If you haven't seen it, go check this out later. Don't do it now. But yeah, it was. Go check that out after the show. I think you may not have to dive too deep now. And at the bottom, there are zip files that you can download. I didn't download anything, but I'm considering it, and the characters are using that cryptic language that he writes in. So I have no idea what those zip files are at the bottom of at least one of the pages. But it's not a very big website, but it does go through the history from like 1966 through 95 or whatever, 92, whatever.
It's neat.
It's pretty neat. Now, granted, everybody has the internet now. You know, in 7, 8 when Blair Witch came out.
I think that was like the end of '98 when
Yeah.
that shit started happening.
Yeah, not that many people had. Well, they may have had the internet, but they didn't quite know what to do. The biggest thing there was to go into like big chat rooms and that was it.
AOL.com, dude, totally.
Yeah. So that was groundbreaking because it was a groundbreaking technology. So that's not going to be replicated or beat for a while until we get the next step of what the internet could become. Like maybe some kind of virtual reality trailer that you step into the movie somehow. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, the marketing was great. Like we all said, just maybe a step down from Blair Witch, but very, very similar.
It was smart.
Right?
Definitely smart, man.
Yeah, very smart. Because I think this is definitely a movie you want to know very little about going in.
Mm-hmm.
And that definitely helped.
That's the best way to go into it. I mean, any movie. I love going in as blind as possible. It makes it more enjoyable.
I mean, to my knowledge, they never released a trailer that filled any of those gaps in. They kind of left it out, didn't they?
Yeah, no. I mean, all their trailers were kind of just weird marketing. And that was a choice by Neon. Neon went to Oz Perkins. I read this earlier. Neon went to Oz Perkins, the writer-director, and was just like, we dig the vibe of this film. We want to do some weird shit with the marketing. Is that cool? And he was like, guys, go for it. Have fun, And he even said, after I saw what they did, I loved it,
Well,
so.
pumped in
All
some
right.
extra dough, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the first part of the movie. Act 1 starts with an epilogue, which we don't get in films very much anymore. But they do it, here. And let me get into this. It's basically a like 1970s in Oregon. And we see a little girl with a Polaroid camera following a mysterious voice around her house after she sees a station wagon pull in next to their place. She goes to investigate. And she's approached by this erratic man with a pale white face who talks to her about it's almost her birthday. She takes he says something about, basically he's standing out of frame and he's he's very tall compared to the little girl. And he says, oh, I must have worn my long legs today. Let me fix that. And then he bends down and gets in her face, and we cut to the credits. And
just a glimpse of Longlegs.
Yeah, you barely see.
Is awesome at that time.
Yeah, you want to talk about that, Ziggy? The start of that little epilogue?
It pulls you in pretty good. I mean, it's even shot like the screen it's shrunk down. It's like almost 4:4. 3:4.
Yeah, it's a 3:4.
And like someone shot it on an old 70s 8mm or something. But it works, man. She kind of walks out to the car like, what the fuck? Who is this? And then there he is, and starts talking to her. And he's a creep. He's a super creep. It comes flying at you like a tidal wave. So I don't know, Colonel, what'd you think?
Oh, dude, it was a great way to start the film. I mean, just the brightness of it. Okay. It was so fucking bright. And then, like you say, you get that little reveal. I was in my seat. I went, ah! Like I got really fucking scared for a second,
Wait, you said what?
I said, ah!
Okay.
Yeah. So I got like, it was fucking terrifying, man. Cause it was the land of ice and all this ice and snow, it just, and bam, there you got this bright ass face at you. It's fucking terrifying. This joke isn't going to work, so I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to go ahead and put it into it.
I was going to go ahead and take the line, and you did it yourself. So
yeah, so
ice in the snow line, but
we'll see.
All right. Sorry.
Okay.
Wait.
Got a winner.
Wait.
A Wow, she agrees with you.
See, I wasn't the only one. Like, seriously, this motherfucker looked like Robert Plant. It kind of fucked with me the rest of the movie. I'm not going to lie. So here on out, you're going to get a lot of Robert Plant references.
I thought he looked like Benny Vincent.
It's still a great opening to the film, but fuck, I was like, that looks like Robert Plant.
There we go. Corey even says that voice from Colonel is all we need for success. So can we get it one more time?
No, he's going to start. You're going to tip me if you want more.
We're gonna have to rack that though, Phase. Those two. I've
already. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's on top of it. I have a feeling he's already time marked that one, time stamped it.
I don't need to.
We'll mix it with the fucking Colonel farting video. It'll be epic.
Oh my god.
Or the Super Bowl video.
Oh shit.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
I don't remember a farting video, but the Super Bowl, that's a treasure.
The farting one is one I racked when we were recording for the Morgan Crip videos.
With a little...
It's an outtake,
Oh,
yeah. I got. Well, maybe we'll share that one day with everybody.
God. That wasn't good. I hope you have that still.
I do.
All right. Faze, any additional comments about the little epilogue before the credits?
I mean, my mom was really creeped out by it. And she mentioned in chat, she thought I was laughing at her, and I might have been. I honestly don't remember. It was a good, creepy intro, though. It's excellent. Like Colonel said, the brightness was excellent. It added to it. It was great. Act 1 was great.
Cool. Well, there's more to Act 1, but, you know.
Right, I don't know how far you want to keep going, but
I'll let you know.
I'm going to let you guide that.
All right, I'll let you know. After the opening credits, we flash forward to, I'd say about 20 years, maybe. No, about 20 years. Maybe a little less. But it's, I would say, would you guys say early 90s, mid 90s?
Definitely early 90s. I'm thinking 93 is what I was thinking.
It's kind of where I was.
You can't be too far off because she is an FBI agent. That is probably 8 years or to get to that, I would think, from being a cop or whatever you are. You know, I mean,
I don't think it takes that long. You know,
well, still,
especially with her intuition and abilities.
Okay.
So
okay,
we'll get into that here in a minute, but we're not there yet. Well, we flash forward to the mid 90s now. We meet Lee Harker, played by Maika Monroe, a newly recruited FBI agent, and she displays this intuition during the investigation of what I assume is one of her first cases. Something goes wrong, but later on they test her, and they find out that she may have some kind of psychic abilities, clairvoyance, something like that. Because of that, her boss, Carter, Special Agent or Chief Carter, Director Carter, I guess, has assigned her to this series of cases that involves murder-suicides that have been unexplained, and this has been going on for almost 30 years. So she's brought into the world of Longlegs, but she doesn't really know much about it. Let's start with Colonel on this one. What would you think of the setup and the continuation of Act 1?
Oh, dude, it was a great setup, especially for introduction to Lee. And again, I want to mention cinematography a lot tonight. I'm sure we have its own category, but I mentioned beginning of the film, it's bright. Next thing, here we are, winter, Northwest, just gray. It's fucking gray. I love that giant contrast from the opening to here we are in the story. It had a dark overtone to it. But then again, you get action right from the fucking get-go. Again, like, you got that little jump scare, you're settling in, you know. And then, again, you get some good splatter. And,
True.
Which I appreciated the fuck out of that. I'm sure Zach did too. It's granted it's CGI shit, but it was some good splatter, man. Like I said, just did a great job setting up the character. And then, kind of like Crank said, we get our supernatural element to it. If you perceived it that way, I mean, they're saying she's a psychic. I kind of said, okay, well, there's our supernatural element, which I did not expect because, again, don't know what the fuck to expect watching the trailers. And, goddamn, I might be going a little too far ahead here. I'm trying not going too far ahead, but damn it, Lee is such a likable character, man. She's just quiet. She's very analytical.
Is she
awkward?
Is she likable?
I thought she was because you kind of felt for her. She's just awkward as shit.
She's awkward. That is the right word.
I'm not sure that's the right word.
Well,
We'll get
she's
into that later.
She's got a problem. She's got a burden.
I think there's more to it than that, but we'll get into that.
We're only talking about Act 1. To me,
Right.
she was likable. She was an awkward fucking young recruit. You know what I mean? She wasn't no Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs. Yes, sir, I could do it, sir. You know, it was just she didn't have that outward confidence. It was just, I think it's over here.
Okay. Well, since we're digging into it a little bit, let's jump to this for a second because we're basically at the end of Act 1 anyway. So, the introduction of Longlegs himself, I think we can all agree was just like stunningly well done. There we go. 2 thumbs up from Faze. We don't really have to talk too much about that.
Beautiful music stinger accompanies it that helps sell it, and it's good. They did it good.
Now, the character introduction of Lee is quite different because it takes several scenes to kind of get through a few of her layers. Did you guys pick up on any... One of the first things I thought of was she's on the spectrum. Like, there's a bit of autism. It's not debilitating, obviously, but she's got some... It's not just anxiety. It's not just an awkwardness. There's an autistic feeling that I'm getting from her. Did you guys pick up on that at all, Ziggy?
I did not. I think all of this is related to the trauma not yet revealed.
Let me know in the comments if anybody out there may have picked up on that or thought that.
It's possible.
What about you, Colonel?
Yeah, but who fucking isn't? You know what I mean? On the spectrum, one way or the other. So I kind of picked up on it, but it wasn't like, she's on the spectrum. It's just she's analytical.
It just doesn't make, to me, FBI, dude. They're like, that's the best of the best of the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? The smartest mind. There's a reason they took her.
Yes.
And they kind of tell you right away before they bring her in the room.
There's one scene. It's a little bit further in the movie, but there is one scene where they're talking about going to 2 different locations, a hospital and a crime scene. And he's like, well, how far is that? And she's like, 123 miles to this one. And he goes, how about the other one? 89 miles to that one. Well, let's go. Let's start there.
I think.
And I'm like, I got subtle Rain Man vibes from that scene, especially.
It's OCD, because we see her lay the files out, the numbers out. The numbers correspond to the locations and the deaths around that were happening. That's OCD, dude.
That's more than just OCD.
I mean, I guess she's a functioning.
She's a functioning autistic, is what I think.
Like the 9th power.
I will say, first of all, Colonel,
face.
Not everybody's on the spectrum, but also women especially often go undiagnosed as far as autism and even OCD goes. So it could be a number of things. God only knows where she is. And it is realistic that it never really gets brought up.
Because it's 93 or 94. So, yeah.
Especially in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, everybody has some kind of mental tick, man. I think everybody's
on a mental tick, but it's not all autism. It's not all on that spectrum.
I agree to disagree.
Fair enough.
Sorry. It's just everybody's there, so that's something, dude. Depends on severe, whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking we were, but
The more you know.
sorry.
I'm still gonna move on with this as if her character has some appearance on the autism spectrum. Just for those that are watching, there we go. I think Colonel's mental tick is. Look at him right now. What's he doing?
Go ahead. That's why I'm muted. I'm listening to what's going on upstairs. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I know, but you're having. Oh, geez. Now Colonel's on the spectrum.
The French.
We lost the Colonel tonight. All right. We can't really talk too much about the other character. Well, let's talk about Blair Underwood, because there's an actor I haven't seen in a while that shows up as Carter. I thought his introduction was pretty interesting because he, kind of comes in as this almost no-nonsense FBI head. He's like, hey, here's the case. I want you to look at it. Of course, another agent is like, I don't think she's ready for this. She's ready, blah, 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 blah. But then, a scene later, he's like, let's go get a drink, and gets hammered and has to get a ride home. So I loved the way they brought his character in. And he's more of a small part of the film, but he becomes more involved later on. Ziggy, jump on you for this one.
Smart, likable, open-minded to some of the weird shit he hears.
Mm-hmm.
And actually follows up on the thing. So I liked him. I liked him a lot in this.
I thought he was great in this. And like I said, it's been a while since I've seen or heard anything about him even. I was glad to see him again. Colonel's still muted, so FaZe?
Yeah, I
Who we're
mean,
talking about? Yeah.
she was like that. He was the person that she could talk to about fucking anything and feel comfortable doing so. Kind of similar to, I can't think of his name from Maxine, but there was a character just like that from that movie too that Maxine could always go to. It's interesting having that similarity back to back like that.
Oh, the guy from the video store?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Colonel, anything to add on the last character introductions? You're still muted. You're still muted, Colonel.
Buddy.
I got it.
Sorry, I'm good.
All right.
Sorry, no. I like the character. He's kind of like the R2D2 type people. Like he's just kind of there to help push the story along, which every good story needs that. You need your sidekick, for lack of a better term, the guy points you at the main character, go this direction, and did a fantastic fucking job, dude. I kind of liked him more than he's probably my favorite character in the whole fucking movie, honestly.
He, like I said, it was just great to see him again. Haven't seen him in a while. Always liked him as an actor, and he just kind of like disappeared. So, but yeah, all right, cool. Let's move on to Act 2, and I just called Act 2 Longlegs because that's the investigation that we got into. She starts trying to decipher the timing of the calendar, because a lot of these murders are occurring within 6 days of a child's 9th birthday, which always falls on the 14th of whatever month it is. And Ziggy, I'm going to pass this off to you, and I'm going to have to step out for just a minute, so I'll be back. But you start with Act 2.
I will start with Act 2, and Crank will start with...
Yeah, I've got to go take shit.
Okay. Well, sometimes it happens. There he goes, folks. Yeah, Act 2, we get going, and it's time. You're starting to figure out that he leaves letters. Nobody knows in the whole FBI what the fuck any of them are, and she kind of shows right up and deciphers all of it, like almost instantly. And, you're kind of like, what's going on? What's going on here? And this is where they first start to make the chain links to her past and why it's relevant to what's going on here. Colonel, help me out here.
No, goddamn, why you gotta do that? You're doing such a good job explaining the whole thing. So, no. investigation part, honestly, Act 2, sucked me into this movie the whole fucking time. Like, I was ready for it, man. Like I said, the deciphering of his code, the Zodiac Killer code, essentially, or the Longlegs code. Travel, survivors, locations. So I'm trying not to give anything away, but we'll say the secret hidden under the floorboards. That scene was really a what the fuck moment for me.
Well, I mean, they kind of what the fuck you even early on when they first they got the young agents. They're gonna send them out to do the door knocking, to do the dumb work, the crap work, the shit work, and she's standing here just staring at all these houses, and she's like, "He's in there. I know he's in there," and she's paired with an agent who gets taken out by the occupant inside, and. Does that guy shoot himself too in the house? No,
you're going back to Act 1 though.
Yeah, I just want to say we
kind of Act 1.
Passed over that because because that got her. They wanted her off the case immediately after this happened.
No, they also gave her the test too. Like, they've shown pictures. Just tell us what you see, and
she got that. But then, like, she beat that test, they said, we've had. He names off like a number of psychics they've had in the past working for the FBI. And they consider, some of them consider her a psychic, including her boss. So he's willing to go with this. I mean, it's very Morpheus in the Matrix to Neo, believing in Neo almost. A lot like that, I felt. But damn, man, it just, that was a pretty shocking scene when her partner, spoiler alert, is dispatched. And then, you start to realize that there is a supernatural element to this because these people they go out of their minds, they're killing their families, and most of them are killing themselves afterwards. Why? So that's where we go now. Now we're back. She's not been taken off the case. She's right. They've given her the folder. She's eating it, sleeping it every day in this thing. All right, Colonel.
No, all right. So I had to say, I didn't know we were going back to Act 1, and okay. So now keep going. You're doing a fine job.
Okay, so like, she talks to her mom a lot, and her mom seems like she's got some kind of dementia going on. That's what I was picking up, But at first. And she seems like she wants to have a relationship with her mom, but there's something blocking everything. They can't just talk. It's just very rigid. It's very impersonal and stuff, even though it sounds like the one's trying to be loving, and she can't reciprocate. And it goes somewhere. Oh, there he is. Hey.
Jesus Christ. What the hell are you guys talking about?
Did you even wipe?
I didn't have time. I just brought the toilet out here with me. I'm still sitting on the toilet. So
he'll wash his hands later. It's cool.
Yeah.
That's his own shit.
Yeah, of course I wash my fucking hands. Jesus Christ, man.
I know.
I had a Philly cheesesteak, so it had to make a repeat occurrence. What the hell are you guys talking about, man? All right.
Dude, I don't even know anymore.
All right. So
I was just getting to the point of how we backed up a little bit to Act 1 and talked about how she saw a traumatic event.
Yeah, we didn't need to give that away.
Right. But then how they wanted to take her off, and now they're believing in her. How did you know that house? We're going on this. I mentioned Morpheus to Neo in the Matrix, little comparison, how blindly going to believe this and go with it. He's going to look into what she's coming up with because this fucking case has been cold for many years.
Well, after she's given the letters that, she's trying to decipher, she gets the card from him that gives her the code. That's how she was able to decipher it so quickly.
The code?
Yeah.
Oh, he sent the one card, the Longlegs.
Yeah,
he sent the card.
January 4th or whatever, 14th, January
14th.
It said happy almost birthday, right?
Yeah. And there was a side thing that gave her the code
symbols.
to the
Right.
and she was able to use that to break the rest of the code. So
Yeah, but I mean, nobody else was going like, how the fuck did you do that so quick? You know,
when they go to that next,
yeah,
almost month old crime scene,
yeah,
she's able to quickly decipher that one in front of Carter, and he's like, "How'd you do that?" She's like, I figured it out. I was able to break
stared
it.
at it a long time.
Yeah, I stared at it just enough.
Just enough.
Yeah. And she sees Longlegs, briefly at her house when he drops off the card. So
that was a cool shot.
Yeah, there were a lot of cool shots in this. That's when she starts figuring out this linear calendar thing, and she realizes that the dates form an inverted triangle if you map them out, which is some kind of an occult symbol. But there's one date missing, and it was January 13th. So she and also don't forget there was a threat in the letter or in the card that she got that her mom would be hurt if she reveals the contents of the letter to anybody.
Didn't stop. Yeah.
Right. So and then I think Colonel started to bring this up a little bit after that they get a clue where they go back to a crime scene. I think it was called the camera farm.
Yeah.
Where they find a doll kind of under some floorboards in the upstairs part of this barn kind of area, and they pull that out and have it analyzed, and they find this metal orb inside where it would be its brain, but they can tell that the orb is empty, but they're getting some kind of feedback from it whenever they hold like a ultrasound kind of thing up to it. It's giving them some kind of sound. So there's something in there, but it's not registering as any kind of matter, which I thought was an interesting way to go around that. Colonel, you want to? You were talking about that a little bit, so you want to talk about that?
Definitely
got to the doll shit.
Because this is a part that kind of lost me a little bit, but I still think it was kind of cool. I just wish there was a little more
fleshing out,
a little more to it. Because even I don't know, lack of a better term, the autopsy guy, the guy that did the scans on this doll they found in the metal orb, he's like, I could hear the voice in my head telling me pretty much do bad things. And he's like, I realized it wasn't my voice, but it was my voice. Like I heard a voice in my head telling me to do this, and that was really fucking cool. Just like I said, once we get further down the movie, it's like wish a little more description. You can put the pieces together. You're all intelligent. I just wish they would have talked about it more instead of just you putting the pieces together. Like, oh, okay, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey,
some kind of ritual or something like, just a little more. I just want a little more.
I think Osgood Perkins is very good at blurring things that probably shouldn't go together. I mean, I'm talking religion, the supernatural. You know what I mean? Because it's so blurry, you can't really pinpoint what the fuck's going on. You just know what you're seeing isn't really naturally possible. That's what I was taking out of this whole thing.
Right. Nice. Hey, I need to. Yeah, I need to make a special announcement real quick. I'd like to welcome Robert Staley thank you for signing up and
Hey,
joining
Thank you,
us
Robert.
as a new final guy.
Oh,
Just in the
Nice.
past. Yeah, I guess it's been about 30 minutes. Sorry, it took me 30 minutes to realize it, but
This guy, Robert Staley, and his sister Bonnie.
oh, you
I
know him.
elementary school with this person.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
and, we had many classes together over the years. He moved on to Chicago. I haven't seen him, but damn, brother, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You popped
We
in
do
and said
get to
hello.
Chicago every once in a while, man. We gotta,
There he
meet
is
up,
right there.
talk some shit. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Long time.
Yeah.
Excellent, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Most
Thank you very
appreciated.
much.
Yes, man.
All right. I want to get back to this the camera farm though, because my friend a friend of mine I went with, Ariel, went to watch this with me, and afterwards we were talking about it, and she was like, "Did it just bother you that they went back to a crime scene from 20 years ago? There was nobody living there, the grass was mowed, but they just walked right the fuck in, like with no warrant, no nothing, and started tearing up the floorboards." I was like, "No, didn't bother me at all." Because I didn't really notice it until right fucking now.
Yeah, she said that now that you say that, but then I would have went back to, well, it's the FBI. They can do what the fuck they want. So.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It never crossed my mind. It's how many times we've seen a movie
That
where
was
the
one.
FBI's doing detective work. They never have warrants. They just show up wherever and do what the fuck they're going to do. It's
Yeah, but it's a 20-year-old crime scene. So that's what blew my mind, and I didn't even think about it. It was such a huge kind of plot hole that I was just like, wow. I normally catch those pretty well, but this one just, I was so into the story it didn't even fucking bother me.
That
Oh,
must
come
be.
they're 20 years ago. Who would have looked for a fucking crucifix on the fucking ground? Say, hey, let's dig up here.
Well, I don't know if that crucifix was there then. I think
Maybe
that
old
may have
wasn't.
been, yeah, that would have been added later.
Yeah.
But
Maybe old Gil at the real estate place just can't get that one off the market, man.
no one moved into that place.
The
in
legend
20
is there.
years?
Yep.
But they're
Longlegs will get you.
But they're still fucking mowing the yard. That's a big yard too.
Gil, if you don't sell that house this week, you're fired.
You're fucking fired. Wait a minute. What the fuck what are you guys talking about down here?
Oh, they're all over the place, man.
Oh, yeah. It's
It-
been crazy.
I'm what is this? I know this is taken out of context. Bald
Okay.
dildos are rarely nice.
I'm actually not sure about that one.
What's going on?
I was following it for a while there, but they kind of lost me.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, somebody. Wait. What? I missed this one too. It's headcanon for me now. Every time spoiler alert happens, I'm going to hear Crank's voice yelling through the bathroom door. I was yelling at you guys, but I had muted my mic, so I don't think you heard me. I
Shit.
think I
No.
muted my mic.
Nothing picked up.
Damn it. All right.
You
Anyway.
cannot hear it.
That's funny. There's Ariel. Got on late. Did anyone else mention the breathing? Not yet, but I just told your story about the farm and you saying, did it bother you that no search warrant, 20 years later, the lawn was mowed? So you just missed all that. You might want to rewind a little bit and watch that because it was pretty good.
She mentioned the breathing, dude. She never would have graduated fucking the academy breathing like that, dude. You kidding me?
Okay, let's talk about. Well, no, let's save it for because we're going to talk about the characters in the whole here in just a little bit. So we'll get to the breathing, Ariel and Ziggy.
Ugh.
I'm not sure where. Let me see where Act 2 would end here. We keep moving on. We start to figure out that each one of these families would have probably gotten a doll of somehow, and Lee even hypothesizes that maybe the doll or the orbs have some kind of evil energy that can do anything. Carter kind of laughs it off, not necessarily believing in some kind of voodoo bullshit. I'm not falling for your voodoo bullshit, Blair. But, and then they go to visit like one of the few known survivors of Longlegs that's up in this institution. And they find out that Longlegs has already stopped by there, like the day before or something, and signed in with Lee's name. What'd you think of that scene? FaZe, I'll start with you.
Trying to
anything about
remember
that
that.
scene?
You may not want to start with me on that one.
All
This
right,
is
I'll start with Colonel then.
That scene, I'm a little indifferent on that scene. I know it's like an important part, and yes, you had the suspense of, ooh, okay, Longlegs was here. Fusely's name is signed in. You get the backstory of what happened at the barn. It kind of went on. That was cool, but then I kind of got lost after that. I felt like it ran a little too long. And the more I looked at the actress, I was like, they didn't even try to age her, did they? Was I the only one she looked just as old in the hospital 20 years later than she did in the scene? Did anybody else notice that, or was I just?
I thought she looked like a young woman.
Yeah, but she should have been in her 30s. Like I didn't even see crow's feet or anything. It looked like they didn't try to age her at all. Then that's when I got sucked out of the scene. I kept looking. I was like, did they even put makeup on her? And I got pretty complaints about the makeup in this movie. This being one of them. I was like, she looked the same. Like then I started thinking, she kind of looks like Rosemary from Rosemary's Baby a little bit, and that's just where my mind went. That kind of happened to me a few times in this movie where I just kind of got sidetracked with something else. Then I had to come back.
You were floating, huh?
A little bit.
You weren't. Did you go see it with Ziggy? Were you high?
No, high on life.
Probably what happened to me because this part's not really coming to me right now. I have most of this movie remembered, but that's not.
It's not a huge major scene, but
No, dude, she said some twisted things. This is where you realize what kind of a manipulator this Longlegs is and what he can get people to do. It was very important.
Sure.
Very important to that.
For sure, but I mean, it doesn't play. It could be a forgotten scene. I can see where, one of us is kind of just drawing a blank on it.
But she turns, though. She's just kind of saying no. She's catatonic the whole time. Never said nothing to anybody until Longlegs showed up. Oh, she woke right up. She's fine.
Until the orb was busted.
Oh, till the orb became, yeah. And so now, but then she just looks at the agent and says, I would kill you if he said so right now. And then she says, I would also jump off the roof if he told me to. So you kind of get that sense that, okay, these people aren't in their regular, be it possession, manipulation, the cult thing. There's a whole lot of shit going on here that's left to you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then the final two scenes, I guess, two major scenes of Act 2, and let me get this going because this is gonna play heavily into this. So if you want no spoilers about the rest of Longlegs, there's
no way.
We've already done a couple, but
there's no way not to totally fuck it up though from this point.
We can't not spoil it and be able to talk about it coherently. And I'm not sure we can do that coherently anyway, but we're going to try.
Here it comes.
So Lee heads over to... she's called her mother a couple of times on the phone. And like I think Ziggy mentioned while I was taking a shit, that that her mom seems to have some kind of disability, if you want to call it that. Dementia is what you
kind
said?
of a dementia. It felt like a dementia to me.
There's something. She's a few bricks short of a barn door, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense.
You guys are so bad at talking about mental illness. God damn it.
I said dementia. That's a real thing, FaZe.
I didn't know. You're fine. The few bricks short of a barn door is a little bit.
Okay. That was bad. My bad.
All right. More FaZe to crank. Everything's right again.
There we go. But she finally goes and visits her mom. Ruth, played superbly by Alicia Witt. We will be talking about her in full detail here in a minute. But yeah, and while she's there, her mom says something about, hey, I may be kind of losing my mind, but I've never thrown anything away. So all your stuff is upstairs in your room. So Lee goes up, finds a chest in her childhood bedroom, and inside she finds like a stack of Polaroids. In that stack of Polaroids that she takes the whole chest. It looked like took it home with her, and then started going through it with her investigation gloves. And the she finds the photo that she took when she was 9 or almost 9 of Longlegs when he visits in the 70s. So now she knows there's some kind of connection. Lee knows she has some kind of connections to this guy. She takes the picture to her boss Carter. They track him down. They arrest him at some bus stop, and then we get to, yeah, we might as well talk about it now. We get to, I think, the crux, the main reason this movie was made, especially with these filmmakers. We get to the interrogation scene. I'll just let somebody else start with this. Colonel, you want to start with this one?
Yeah, this is pretty fucking intense. We at this point we've seen Longlegs a few times. We've seen him, do stop by a convenience store, commit his murder. Somehow he knew. Well, then we know by the end, but how he knew he was about to get captured. So he pretty much gives himself up. He's just waiting at a bus stop with his bags, sticking out like a sore fucking thumb. So you get your interrogation, and he's pretty much talking to like Lee and his happy birthday, and just certifiably insane at this point. This is probably the most intense scene in the entire movie for me, even more so than the climax of the film. It's just, this is Nick Cage being fucking Nick Cage at his finest. Damn it. I'll get to it, sure, sometime. I'll leave it at that, but it's fucking intense. It draws you in. Again, like I said, it's Nick Cage being fucking Nick Cage. Was there not to like? Phenomenal scene. Fucking phenomenal.
I think Adam reminded me of this not too long ago. Adam Christopher, one of our viewers, and he was talking about one of the trailers they did right before the movie came out, I believe, was what they refer to as the heartbeat trailer, and they put a heartbeat monitor on Maika Monroe before she went in to film the scene. Before they filmed the scene, she had not seen Nicolas Cage whatsoever. It was it's their only scene together in the entire movie, but it's the first time she's seen him, and her resting heartbeat is like 100 or like 75 for her resting heartbeat, and in the middle of that scene, it jumped up to like 180 or something while they're filming that scene. And in the trailer they show, you can hear the monitor, and it's pretty intense. So the fact that and it carries over to the audience, I think, like Colonel just you're over here now, like Colonel just kind of mentioned. That scene is intense, and it is Nick Cage being Nick Cage, but I don't want people to think there's two Nick Cages, at least two, in my opinion. And one is the jokey, hamming it up kind of actor, and one is the more serious, but still crazy kind of actor. This is kind of a combination of the two, though, because he is completely bonkers, but it works. Now, I heard somebody say, a lot of his performance it benefits from the music or the tone that is going on behind it, because if you change that to some kind of Keystone Cops music or something like that, it would be hysterical. And I can kind of see that with a lot of his scenes. But this one was fucking nuts. But I love the way it plays out. Ziggy, jump in on this.
Guys said it pretty well. You hang on every word he's saying,
Mhm.
and you lean right into it. And yeah, man, this guy's perfectly out of his goddamn gourd. I mean, and it's believable. It's very believable. My problem with it is I hated that we got to look at him just so clearly, because seeing less of him was way fucking trippier, man. Just catching glimpses here and there.
Right. And I love the way they did that.
Yeah. And so for me, that kind of made it like, it made him a little less scary looking the more I looked at him. But that doesn't, he does his best to ramp it up to keep you up on that fucking creeped out level. Don't get me wrong. He's good. He's Nick Cage, man, and he brings that Nick Cage energy to this psychotic person.
See, now that you bring that up, I will mention, I was going to save it for later, and I've been saying, I'm going to save it. What really hurt seeing so much of him was, for me, how shitty the makeup job was. I'm sure it was on purpose, because I think he was trying to look like one of his dolls. After I watched the movie and processed it, I'm sure there was a reason for that. But you're getting a good look at him. You're like, man, I can see the paint lines. I can see like the curses of the. It just looked like they took the prosthetics from Mask, didn't repaint him or anything, just slapped him on his face and said, "Go act your ass off, Nick." He's like, "You got it." Like, it just looked bad. Like I've seen people get kicked off face off that did a better job than that.
He looks like Vinnie Vincent, man.
Yeah, the makeup just did not work for me after you kept getting that look at him. It's like, yeah.
I think it worked fine.
I got to pull a comparison, but I'll tell you when I'm showing you what I mean.
I think the makeup worked fine.
I mean, but the more you saw it, did it become less shocking? That's what I'm saying.
I agree with Ziggy. The more you saw him, the less scary he was. That I'm 100% with that.
Yeah, like I said, the more I saw him, the more I analyzed the makeup, and I'm like, like I said, I think I have an idea why they did that, and it works, but it's still it looked amateurish.
I was
one of
trying
the few things that looked amateurish in this movie.
I was trying to see Nick Cage through it though, and it only came through in glimpses, dude. That's what
only in his eyes.
Yeah,
that was it.
He was gone most of the time, man.
Exactly. And that was impressive, because that was one of the few things. Now that's one. They didn't really push that Nicolas Cage was in this movie, but I guarantee you 50% or more that were in my theater were there to see a Nicolas Cage movie, not him for 10 minutes being Longlegs. I'm pretty sure at least half of the people that I saw this movie with in the theater walked out disappointed because they had no idea what they were walking into. I wish I would have asked. There was this one group for sure that was just like, as they were walking out, and I was like, well, you guys should have gone to see Despicable Me or whatever,
Yeah.
But FaZe, did you want to throw anything in about the interrogation scene?
I think you guys put it pretty well. I mean, it was less the makeup for me and more just him himself. The more he talked, the less I liked this particular villain. That was kind of, for me, it didn't do it for me. The creep factor just kept going down. I'll get into that more when we get into a little later on here. But yeah.
All right. I disagree with that too. I thought it.
That's fair. I figured there'd be some disagreements there, but I have my reasons.
Oh no, no, no!
What?
Somebody else agrees
Yeah,
with you,
who
Colonel.
again?
He looked like
Natasha
Robert Plant.
says
Natasha.
he looked like Robert Plant.
See, I'm not the only one. God damn it!
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you fucking did.
Man, it's been a long time since Longlegs has rock and rolled.
Yeah. Did everyone talk about when he started singing?
No.
I love that.
No,
That's
but it
that's
didn't help
that's
the
coming
Robert.
up.
It didn't not
That's
help
coming
the
up
Robert
still?
Plant. It's coming
That
up.
was during
All
the
right.
interrogation? Am I?
That's
Okay.
that's coming up. Or was
Yeah, that's right. There was another.
I think that's in Act 3.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into Act 3, I want to talk about the unsettling filmmaking in this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this movie is uncomfortable to watch, and not just because of the story or the gore or anything. There's some psychological shit going on. What are you laughing about, asshole?
You're right. Let me tell you why. I had a half full theater when I went to see this. As a matinee, and here comes a 6'8" black guy, 300 pounds. All right, we're watching the movie, and as it's going on, dude, all of a sudden we hear, "Oh hell no, man! Hey, now, oh you got to get up and leave. You got to go. You got to leave." You know, he was into it, yo, talking to this fucking screen. It was glorious. It was so good. I was like, if it's fucking killing this guy, this has to be good, you know. So I mean, that was obviously the tensest moments, but he couldn't help himself.
There were a lot of filmmaking tricks that I noticed, and one of the first ones is opening credits. You know, not even counting the stingers, the music, but the fact that the opening credits were, you know, black ink or black typeset on a red background, a full red background. Red is supposed to be one of those most like a full screen of red anyway. It's supposed to be like a really off-putting, uncomfortable color to look at for a time. So I got that. And then of course in the opening credits there were these little subliminal images that kept flashing in.
I'd be reading a name and be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Right. And then the end credits, this is an old filmmaking trick that started, I believe, well, maybe not started with this guy, but he was one of the few that used it to this way, was Fincher, and that's the credits that roll backwards.
Yes.
Just weird little things like that. You may not really notice all that much, or you may not just go, oh, yeah. But in the back of your head, because it's reversed, your mind is reversed. And I like those little things. Not even to count the fucking music in this, which is 90% ambient music, but cranked up. Colonel.
Yeah,
you talk about that.
Very unsettling. I agree with you guys completely. And like I mentioned earlier, just the fact that it was overcast the entire fucking time. It was a very dark movie while not being a dark movie, if that makes sense. Like, just that sense of gray just gave you dread almost the entire movie. Like, something is not right. I love that. I thought that was brilliant because it definitely gave you that winter feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fucked up. And then, I don't know about you guys, I was like, once you got to a certain point in the movie, I was looking all over the screen. I really appreciated a giant silhouette that was barely visible, but it was visible enough to notice it. And then like the certain parts where there was some glowing going on, without trying to give away spoilers, I thought that was brilliant too, just to make it even more unsettling and kind of give it that paranormal, like, here's your stamp of paranormal fucking activity on the fucking story.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, though. But it's such a blurred fucking triangle of those things that you can't. It doesn't settle on one of them. You can't call this a ghost story. You can't call it a fucking cult movie. You can't call it a. You know what I'm saying? What do you call this?
Well, and then, but they also did those long establishing shots that you know, a lot of movies do them. Some go too long. I'll admit. These, I think, purposely went longer than they could have, or should have, even in some cases. But the way they did it, there was always something. Like, if there's something in the foreground that you're supposed to be focusing on, like a character, like if it was Lee, there was always a door behind her,
Right.
or a door frame, or a window, or a hallway, or something. And
Guard is up entire time.
right. And a lot of people, you know, I'm sure a lot of people went into this movie thinking, oh, it's another Conjuring movie. There's going to be jump scares all over the place. No. No, not at all. Like maybe one jump scare, and it was a music cue more than anything.
Yeah.
But with those shots, you're not looking necessarily at Lee. You're watching the fucking door frame in the back going, who's back there? What's back there? What am I going to see? And the fact that you never see anything is great. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm usually going to bitch about that a little bit. Like, come on, man. But this was so effective and just constantly fucked with you by so many different ways. It's like the guys all the way around. I mean, this fucking whole team should be commended on how they caught this. So,
all right. Any other thoughts on the unsettling filmmaking?
I pretty much covered it.
All right, ready to move on to Act 3 then?
Act 3.
All right, and before, again, we're going to say it again, folks. Spoiler alerts. Act 3. The deal with the devil. Well. Do I just say it?
Just
say it.
Just say it.
The interrogation scene ends basically with Longlegs killing himself by slamming his head repeatedly into the table in front of him after saying, like, "Hail Satan," and telling her to talk to her mother. So Lee goes out to her house after witnessing Longlegs kill himself, and hold on, she's driven out by a fellow FBI agent. I want to say Browning, I think was her name, the one that's been,
doesn't want her. Yeah, you shouldn't be
questioning
here.
Her.
You're not ready.
Right. So Browning drives her out because she's like, I don't want you to drive out here after what you just witnessed, but you need to go out and maybe talk to your mom and then get some rest. But Lee goes into the house, looks for her mom, but Ruth is outside and basically blows Browning away with a shotgun while she's still sitting in the car, which was a great scene because I'll be honest, when that shot comes up, at first I didn't notice Ruth was standing in the back until she started moving. I was like, oh fuck,
Yep, she just creeps on up.
Yeah, that was a good frame shot though. And then Lee inside the house hears the gunshot, goes to a window, and watches out the window as her mom walks around the back of the car and then shoots the bitch again. God damn.
I do want to point out just the amount of blood. This woman was like a water balloon filled with blood because one gunshot, that front windshield was covered in blood. I burst out laughing at the amount of blood.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause it was like the same thing the other way.
Mhm.
You just doubled it up.
Yeah. And then her mom gives her the the Bond villain story,
You were chosen to live.
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But there's a way. Is this when Yeah. Because Lee chases her mom out to the yard, and she finds her with a shotgun aimed at a doll
Oh,
that looks just like Lee as a
9-year-old.
9-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
So when her mom shoots the doll, it reacts with, she blows the head off the doll, destroying the orb that's inside. But when she does that, there's this mist
That's like a black smoke.
Black
Yeah.
smoke.
that emits from the back of Lee's head, and
Well,
kind
Mom says, "I'm
drifts
going to
away.
set you free. I'm setting you free."
right, and then Lee passes out and wakes up in the basement. We'll just start with that. Who wants this? Ziggy?
Oh, yeah, Colonel.
Heard the Ziggy. He threw it to me last night.
All right, Ziggy.
Yeah, man. It's just now we're in the basement, and wait a minute. Hold on. Mom's down there.
No, Mom's packing up.
Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mom's
I mean, but
gone.
she-
Hit the road.
Saying I fucking said I remember her waking up.
And she gets the phone call.
I was about to say, didn't the
But
phone
we're-
call happen at this?
We're not going to that yet. I want to save the
Okay.
phone call for the last section.
All right. Well, fuck. Well, go ahead, man. I said I guess I don't fucking with the fuck, man.
All right.
Well, I just
Yeah.
talk about that part. Where
Dude,
it's the twist it reveals itself. I guess.
Before I get to the twist that reveals itself, I'm just going to say they lost a golden opportunity with that fucking headshot. That double headshot. Dude, the blood splatter was cool. I don't know about you guys. I want to see fucking chunks. Like, I want to see it close up.
Mhm.
Give me that Maniac, Maxine, fucking Scanner's headshot. It didn't fit this movie, but it would have been
Right.
nice to see.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say. This is not that kind of movie.
But it still would have been fucking nice to give us that. Because we got some pretty
Yeah.
good gore when Longlegs smashed his fucking face and you saw his Michael Jackson had, busted open on the table. Sorry, Zach. I just want to get. I'll let you get back.
No. Yeah, that's what I mean. They had to put a little shock in there, man. Like for that, the shotgun for the car. That's okay. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with. They had to get a little more blood in there. I don't think they had. And I get it. It's not that kind of movie, but that does add to the horror of. Now you see what Mom's capable of, and she's clearly being manipulated by something. So
Mhm.
that's what we've learned. And and she gets the whole story of how why she was chosen to live and guilted kind of mom. This is she didn't want to do it, but she had to, so she had to become the fucking like the slave to Longlegs. She was the one doing all the killing. It's very Manson like he's in charge. He's the puppeteer of this whole thing. Cult like. His hands are always clean though. He never murders anybody, but he gets in their heads, weak-minded people, and somehow these balls. Again, it's very murky. This whole thing with what is actually happening here. Is it just manipulation? Is it satanic? Is it There's a whole lot of question interpretation here.
It's satanic.
It's definitely.
Yes,
That's-
but
to me, that's the voice of the devil in those spheres. That's what I took it from, essentially.
now, are either one of you guys Catholic, or any of you guys?
No.
I have my criticisms on that aspect, and no, I'm not Catholic, but
I
was
love
raised
Catholic
religious.
stories.
I was raised through it though. I mean, and I think that's why. I think what I think about this movie, and why it's it is tied to that, with especially with the Satan stuff, but they kind of really materialize the power of it, make it more tangible in real life, like Satanism and black magic. So I
I'll
mean,
get my thoughts on that later.
you have to right, and anybody that's educated in this kind of stuff is going to laugh at this movie, I think. But
Yes.
If you embrace, it is done creep. It's done creepy though. It is scary and kind of spooky. So anyway, pick it up with where we were. I just wanted to get that out about what I thought about the blending of these religions and stuff and the black magic.
Well, I mean, this was a different this was kind of a different way to go with this. I thought, that there's a device. Let's say that Colonel's right. That this device that goes in the brain of these dolls holds the voice of Satan. Okay,
So
I can go with that.
Longlegs is he's found a spell in the Book of Satan, let's say, or the Book of Enoch, even for the sake of arguments. What the fuck? And he's found a way to conjure this evil to draw
There is a scene,
because
there is
it
a scene
poisons.
where he kisses like the forehead of the doll when he's done making it, and maybe that's him pushing the magic into the ball. Could be,
And apparently the magic will poison everybody that's around it, as it's
except for Bruce.
the part that it's depicted of. Right. So yes, so you have to accept a lot of shit with this movie to kind of get to the okay, but you can get there.
I'm trying to keep my mouth shut. So
You too.
Go ahead, Colonel, jump in.
no. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's no. And I don't mean this to offend anybody. This is dangerous around the walk. It's no less believable than, we'll say, Greek mythology or any Egyptian mythology or any type of mythology or folklore. If you're willing to believe it, you're going to believe it. I don't think it's less silly than anything else.
It is interesting
Not
to
me
see.
being judgy of anybody. Everybody's free to believe what they believe. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying it's no less believable than anything else.
It is interesting to see this level of this powerful magic applied in a real life scenario instead of like maybe the Queen of Black Magic. Remember that one? How it was a little stylized. That's where it was different. So I don't know, Crank. You seem to like it the most here out of this angle. So I mean, and
I just thought it was an original take on a satanic cult, if you would.
that's believable, though. I mean, on you like that kind of. Or are we
Dude,
going with it? Are we going? I mean, not like a ball, a satanic ball.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's believable.
Well,
but
that's why I talk about manipulation, the weak-minded, and like these cult leaders. That's where
no, but this is acceptable for this story, I think. Is it believable? Not necessarily. No. I mean, I don't know. I don't personally know anybody that can look at a doll and go and like fill its brain that's a metal ball with instructions to kill the person who buys the doll.
The only guy fucking with metal balls around here is the tall man, and he's out of here. So you don't have to worry about that shit.
Well, does his metal ball have instructions to kill people? Like
It has some
But it has the tools
my
to do
God.
it.
not that guy.
From far away, and it makes the thing fly and zap him in the head. FaZe, you want to bitch at us about something? Come on, get
Not
it out
Beaker.
here.
Not Beaker.
We're gonna need some Beaker added in their face.
Oh my God. Just find a clip.
FaZe, jump in. What's your bitch about this part?
You want my bitch about this part? All right.
I want your bitch. I want all your bitch.
All right. Excellent. Well, just, you talk about the religious aspect, mainly the satanic aspect, just the whole, I mean, it's very obviously, Nick Cage or Longlegs was directly referencing the man downstairs, which is obviously Satan, the devil. Obviously, that's always who it's referring to when you're saying the man downstairs. And it's just like, all of that felt so very little researched. I mean, there's a gajillion books on Satanism and on, demonic shit and whatnot. And it just didn't feel like any of the people making this cared to look at any of those. Like, this seems like a very surface level knowledge of this kind of stuff. Like, the triangle pattern didn't end up going anywhere. That was just kind of a random thing. Like, oh, triangle, Satan. But
Well, that's what led her to determine the schedule and know
Sure.
that someone was going to die on the 13th, or a
And that
family
was
was going to
fair
die on the
enough.
13th.
But even then, you had like the 666, which is just, I don't know, just everything in there was just nothing really. As somebody who knows a little bit about that stuff, it felt so lazily put together.
I thought it probably would have played better during that 80s satanic scare, this storyline,
They didn't really go into the satanic.
No. Well, we were way past it by that time.
No, that bled into
No,
the
it was early
90s.
90s, the satanic pan.
Yeah,
satanic
it would have been
panic
during
was
this
going
time.
on, man.
Yeah, that bled into the 90s for a while because that's.
But
I'll
it
be
wasn't
honest, that's when-
referenced here at all.
That's
It
when
wasn't.
JJ and I had our satanic panic experience.
Yeah.
So, shout out JJ. But
And the voice on the phone, I did not like that because I'm sure that was supposed to be the devil, and it's just like, that's no, thank you.
saying you're forgetting or you're late for Ruby's birthday.
Yeah, you're late for Ruby's birthday, but in that like voice, it's like, God damn it.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
have
then-
any more on my board. I would give you an
Then
example.
what does Satan sound like, FaZe?
Well, I think it shouldn't have been Satan at all. Maybe it should just been
Longlegs?
Longlegs or her mother, even. I don't know. Just not some random voice that's supposed to be Satan. That was dumb.
How about this?
Honestly, I heard it as Longlegs.
Well, maybe it was
Yeah.
Longlegs then. It just sounded a little too off, 'Cause, he is dead, so I don't know.
I was starting to go like, okay, he's gotten to her. Is going to have some kind of twist like this too at the end here with her probably assuming that going, this is the obvious tropes of horror, and it's what I thought.
Maybe this is what the devil sounds like.
We got to figure out a way to play that in New Mexico.
I didn't get nothing from that.
You didn't see it?
It was Demon.
My browser failed to play it. I got an error.
It was
I
the-
saw it.
Damn enchiladas.
It was them damn enchiladas.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh no, I can see your complaint.
I was frustrated with it, and my mom was too. It was just, none of it was right. They could have done a little bit of research to make it right, make it a little more closer to what would actually be,
Fuck, the Hell House LLC was closer to the satanic stuff than this was.
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah,
I
but
like it.
Tarek, I think he said it best in the comments. I mean, we're talking schematics here, man.
And we are.
It's. I mean, if we did that, we'd get mad at every movie because something wasn't accurate. I mean, I see what you're
Sure.
saying. I'm not
It's a movie
disagreeing
that's
with
supposed
you.
to be
I
centered
get
around-
it because it is very surface level. It's like they didn't even scratch. There's a scratch and sniff, but they just put the sticker on it, didn't even sniff it. I get
I'm okay
exactly
with
what you're
that.
saying.
I
But
dumb
it
it
didn't
down.
bother me that much.
Dumb
Well-
it down. I'm okay with that. So it got a bigger fan base that way.
But here's my thing. I think this movie, and this is not an insult to the story or the script by any means, but I think this movie was more style over substance. If
Sure.
you know what I mean.
Artsy
That's
fartsy.
fair. That's very
No,
fair.
I wouldn't go so far as to say artsy fartsy, you dick. But
Maybe not that.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I think there was more to the style of the film rather than getting every fucking satanic detail right for, C phase of the underworld down there.
Oh, for God's sake.
But
It just,
when your whole fucking thread of what is happening hinges on this one thing, you probably should. I have to go with FaZe on this, man.
thank you, Ziggy. That's my
Wolf
thoughts
down
exactly.
a little bit, man. That's all. I mean, because it's the one thing it gets taught to Catholics and Baptists. Everybody is the devil and the evil. All of it, man. It's all the same. So everyone's going to get that, even if you get any level of it deeper than they did. But it wasn't. It didn't ruin it, though. It didn't fucking ruin it. I just thought
Right,
it
Fair
was.
enough.
Here we go. I asked, what does Satan sound like? Alex says, Satan's from South Park. Hey guys, sorry. You're late for Ruby's birthday. You better hurry.
You got the wrong one there, but
Oh, was that the wrong guy?
yeah.
Whatever. That was my best pull from not having seen any South Park in years. Okay, then we get the showdown at Carter's house. Lee escapes the basement, gets the phone call, you're late for Ruby's party, heads to Carter's house where Ruby has already started opening her gifts. Ruth is there with the doll. Ruby seems captivated by the doll. Everybody else seems possessed except for Ruth, who's just sitting there on the couch, minding her own motherfucking business and having a good time. And all hell breaks loose.
Well, Carter, you notice right away Carter's acting kind of assholish, and it's totally unlike him from the rest of the movie.
Right.
So, wife oblivious. Like, she pretty much says, you're about to be stabbed and killed. We got to go get a knife to cut the cake. You know, I have to cut it. You got to cut it. Okay.
He's like, we'll be in the kitchen. He's like, you'll be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Or no,
we'll be right back. He's
Yeah,
like,
she says, we'll be right back. And he goes, no, I'll be right back. Yeah.
you'll still be in the kitchen.
You'll still be in the kitchen. Like, you's about to be a dead bitch. Is basically what he's saying.
It sucks.
That's
good.
But I thought it was an interesting. Man, I just thought they went against the grain on a lot of different things, I thought. And they could have played this the way it's been played in other movies, where it's fucking cheesy as hell in some ways. Or unoriginal. But I think they did this in such an original way that it stands out. Even if it's not completely accurate, with some things.
I don't give a shit about that. I mean,
but I dug the ending of this. And do I need to go on, or do you guys want to comment on that part, or
I can
finish the
jump
movie?
in on something
Okay.
during that, during the scene. Well, I mean, do you want me to just go into the entirety of that scene, the Act 3?
You want to wrap it up?
I mean, I could, somewhat at least. There's just one part I want to talk about.
Okay.
When, after the girl opens her present, it's the doll. And she's just memorized by it. She's staring at it.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that she doesn't notice anything going around her when she probably should be. Because her dad, and God damn it, what was her name? The main character?
Lee.
I don't know why that escaped my brain, but Lee is literally watching as the husband takes the wife out to the other room. Yeah, thanks, Iggy. And she knows what's about to happen. She knows husband's about to kill wife because of the whole possession shit going on. She could see him being possessed by this evil that's coming from this doll. She ain't doing nothing about it because she's too busy focusing on her mother, who's sitting right over there. Like, they're literally listening to a murder happening in the kitchen. She's not getting up and doing nothing. I'm like, why is she not getting up and doing anything? Why is she just letting this murder happen that she knows it's going to happen? She's just a psychic woman who can see shit happening a mile away. She's literally watching this happen a mile away, does nothing to stop the murder from happening.
Yeah, mom goes, so she's going to kill her first, and then the daughter, and here he comes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she was too focused on her mother, I think. I don't even remember what she was doing, what Lee was doing.
She was trying to keep an eye on the kid.
Sure.
On Ruby. That was her.
So fuck the dad, just keep an eye on the kid?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll accept it.
All right.
That's my rant. That's my TED Talk. Thank you.
All right. Well, Carter murders the wife, then comes into the room coming after Ruby, but Lee is right there. So Lee shoots and kills Carter to protect Ruby. Then Ruth pulls a knife or dagger out of her bag.
Yeah.
It's that satanic dagger you've seen that you would just be fucking totally flipped out. It's all twisted up and shit. Looks like a snake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's not cool.
you can buy one at Spirit Halloween in a couple of months for $19.95.
Yep.
Yeah, she pulls that out of nowhere, and Lee has to shoot and kill her.
She finally does something.
It's heavy, but what the
yeah.
fuck? What are you going to do here?
And then Lee turns the gun on the doll, but for some reason the gun doesn't fire. I don't know if she's out of bullets or if it jammed or what.
It was one of the two.
I'm leaning towards a jam because I counted 3 shots. That was a revolver. She had 3 more.
Right.
Yeah.
I was watching the movie like, there's no way she's fucking out. And then I bet it jammed.
And it sounded more like a jam than a gun out of bullets. So yeah,
That's kind of what I thought too, but
yeah,
I wasn't sure.
Like,
I don't know much about guns, so I wasn't positive, but that's kind of
Fair
what
enough.
I was leaning towards. Then we hear Longlegs begin to sing "Happy Birthday." Lee tells Ruby it's time to go. And then we cut back to the interrogation room where Longlegs looks at the camera and just says, "Hail Satan," and then blows a kiss. The end. And then the credits begin to roll backwards,
Yep.
which creeps people out even again.
I didn't notice that. The credits.
Going
did?
backwards?
I was so pissed at the ending. I was like, what the fuck? I literally audibly said, what the fuck? Some people around me were looking at me. And I didn't notice the credits. I was like, all right, you ready to go, Mom? She's like, yeah.
Yeah, and luckily you didn't have to stick around for any post-credit scene or anything. But
Yeah, I didn't care at that point.
anything to okay. So why were you so pissed at the ending?
It's just, well, like what I just said. And also,
Because of that,
I was also bothered by the kid. Ruby, right?
Ruby.
Ruby, yes. I was also bothered by, like, she was able to pull her away from the doll, but she was still just entranced. I didn't really get what was going on there. Like, she just had no reaction to anything that was going on. So I guess
That's the magic in the
that's the
orb.
magic in the ball. Yes, it's just it was a weird spot to end it. I mean, I feel
Well-
like they're trying to set this up for a sequel. That's another thing that pissed me off because this is setting up for, in my mind, a really bad sequel. But
I don't-
that's again in my mind.
We got
We can
Smile 2 coming.
We can talk about that here in a minute, but
Yeah, I'm sure
I
it's
don't necessarily see a sequel coming.
It left a
from this.
gross taste in my mouth. Just the whole scene just felt so off to me for a final scene.
Anybody else disagree? Want to jump in on this? No?
No, excuse me. I think that final scene was very powerful.
Okay.
I did.
Huh?
But again, I wasn't hung on the inconsistencies that, yes, I noticed about what they were saying and why shit was happening. I just went with it anyway. So that's fine. I mean, so getting to that ending is okay. It is very kind of dissatisfying, though. Once again, it's kind of like, meh. I can sum this movie up in one word, man. Almost.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Colonel?
No, I mean, I'm not as angry as FaZe, but I agree with him. The ending was definitely dissatisfying. It's just kind of, I guess that's where I was like, I wish they would have done something a little different. Don't know what. I'm not a filmmaker, but it's just, again, just Lee's just lack of what the fuck am I going to do here kind of sucked me out of it a little bit. She was too smart to be that dumb, if you catch what I'm saying. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
That's valid.
Yes.
I can get down with that. I disagree. I thought the ending was great. Bizarre, not necessarily, definitely not the safe choice for an ending, I wouldn't think. You know, she has to kill her mom for one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets really heavy. But
yeah.
fuck that. Mom pulled out, like I said, the snake blade, dude.
Right.
That ain't. I'm holding
No,
a
Frank.
gun. Mom, put that down. No,
Yeah.
there was no. She was like, "What have you done? You've ruined it." Now, boom, she's coming at him, and what are you gonna do? Gotta
Right.
do it. Gotta kill.
Right. I don't know. I can't really say much more because we're running way over time.
That's true.
But I like the ending. So
Colonel's like, let's move this on.
all right, let's talk about some of the cast and acting. And yes, we're gonna start with Nicolas Cage. How Jesus Christ. And somebody else asked this in the comments. I'll throw this out here. There we go. Do you guys have a favorite Nicolas Cage film? I really like him in Raising Arizona and Face Off. That was from Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. This is probably one of the best Nicolas Cage performances. Now, granted, it's probably less than 10 minutes of screen time, if I had to guess. I don't know for sure, but it's not much. The interrogation scene is maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 12 minutes. We'll go there. But not a whole lot of time. but this is probably one of his best performances, just overall, personally. What would you guys think, Colonel?
Say Nicolas Cage killed it in this, obviously. Pun intended. I'm kind of. I mean, I thought he was really good in this. I thought he was really good in Renfield. But I got to go with the first Nicolas Cage for me when I come to favorites. It's Con Air, which I'll admit is not as good as I thought it was back when it first released. It's not aged well, but
that movie is so cheesy, but it's so good.
It's good cheesy though. Yeah, it's fun cheesy. Just eat your popcorn, enjoy the fucking ride, and you're done with it.
Right. Ziggy?
I forgot about Renfield. That's good, man. I was thinking like, Leaving Las Vegas, right? He's in that one. That's his
Oscar winning role.
That's the one, man.
Yeah.
But this is great. Less is more. I still say that. But how are you going to do that in that interrogation scene? I mean, at least you could have saved it up to that point, and then that's all you get. He's great, though. He's fucking great. I would love to see him and Buffalo Bill Cody as a tag team in WWE. You know what I'm saying? It would be awesome.
What?
I don't know.
He's that kind of killer, man. He's good.
I don't know what that means. Yeah, I haven't seen Leaving Las Vegas in a long fucking time. So, I did love that movie back in the 90s when it came out, but again, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember loving his performance and Elizabeth Shue's performance in that.
Yeah.
But have to watch that again to see where it would rank. It would probably be up there, but this is pretty fucking good for me. FaZe, what about you?
As far as favorite Cage movie goes, I'm trying to remember them. I could swear I've seen Raising Arizona, but I don't remember. I'm just gonna give it the Face Off. I mean, he was amazing in Renfield. He was just criminally underused in that film.
Mm-hmm.
But for this film, for Longlegs, it started off great. That whole intro was great. I was really excited to see just how creepy this fucking motherfucker could get. I was about to call him a killer, but he's kind of there's a gray area there. But he and yeah, even my mom says I have seen Raising Arizona. I just don't remember. But where he completely lost me was when he started singing. Like, it was kind of starting to lose me a little bit before that, because he's like this. It just wasn't creeping me out the more he talked. But the singing, oh my god! Me and my mom looked at each other like, what the fuck? Like, god damn.
It's bizarre, yes, but
Dude, he was getting ready to go. He's practicing, man. He's about to go back on tour. He's got a new solo album he put out.
Yeah, with T-Rex. For fuck's
been
sake.
a long
Yeah.
time since I rock and roll. You going back
Great
to that?
band, but man, it was a weird. They kept trying to make connections to T-Rex too, and they didn't really go anywhere with that. I don't know.
There were songs from T-Rex all throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
He
like
was
getting into
kinda
like the lyrics for one of them too, weren't they? And it's like, I don't know. It's,
I'm gonna throw out my probably my previous favorite Nicolas Cage performance is Snake Eyes. I always loved him in Snake Eyes, just because you want to talk about Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. That was one of the first movies I remember seeing where I'm going, okay, this guy is going off the rails, and whatever he does for the next 10 years, I thought he might make it 10 years, is going to be entertaining as fuck. Here we are 30 years later, almost, and we're still talking about he's going off the fucking rails. So,
and the IRS money definitely fucking helped.
oh my god.
Makes sure it lasts a little bit longer.
I think his tab is paid up by now, though. So,
Yeah, fuck, we had that Ghost Rider and
yeah. All right, let me hit a couple of these. Alex says Kiss of Death with David Caruso from 95. Not bad. That's a good pull.
I was just thinking about that today when they're all dressed. Because why you guys all dressed like the Clinton's fishermen? And they all take Michael Rappaport out and beat the fuck out of him. He's great in that, though.
And he also says, and The Rock with the late Sean Connery. Tarek says, Con Air is worth watching Nick make the most endearing attempt at being a Southern boy.
That is a terrible Southern accent.
Only Keanu Reeves is worse.
That's pretty rough. BK says Valley Girl.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned that earlier. I want to say Grizzly did.
We're going to really say that counts.
What?
We are supposed to compare.
Grizzly. Come on.
Luke says The Rock is great, but everyone's acting was hilariously funny. Oh, okay. Robert says The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I still have yet to see that.
I haven't seen that one yet either.
I need to catch that one.
Can't go wrong with a Nick Cage movie.
Bronson says The Family Man.
Family Man.
I like them and Mom and Dad, too.
See, Ariel says, I love the chaotic singing. Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, when he started ended the screams, dude, it was like, okay, you fucking wacko. That worked for me.
See, there we go. Luke says Snake Eyes is great. Cage rules in that movies.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Castor fucking Troy though in Face Off. That is a great one, man. A dude playing another dude. That's
Oh yeah, Face Off was mentioned earlier too.
Yeah.
That was way up in the
Mandy.
comments. I don't
Oh
think
shit.
I can
The
find it.
Color Out of Space.
Luke says Mandy.
Color Out of Space. Anybody?
Well, Lorena says Fast Times counts.
I don't think it does.
He was technically Nicolas Coppola back then, so.
That's true. It's not even a Nick Cage movie, so
Yep,
yeah,
there
it
we
doesn't
go.
count.
All right.
There we go. Corey says
Leaving
Leaving Las Vegas.
First thing I thought.
Alex says the Disney movie with John Boy, National Treasure.
Oh yeah, National Treasure. Fuck, that
Okay.
one's pretty good. The first one's really good.
Yep. All right, there we go. All right, next actor we need to talk about Maika Monroe coming back to. Well, she's always kind of kept her pinky toe in horror and done some other shit, but she started with It Follows several years back, and back in this, she did The Watcher not too long ago. Not The Watchers from
Yeah, The
recently,
Watcher.
but
Which I heard is not so good.
oh, I love The Watcher.
You love. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else then.
Are you talking about the new one with Shyamalan's daughter?
No, I don't think so.
That one's
Oh, is it-
eh.
You've seen it already?
Yeah,
Oh, then that's got to be it.
yeah. But the one with Maika Monroe came out like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, you shit on the one I'm talking about. So.
I didn't shit on it. It was just, it was okay. It had a great premise, but kind of
Just okay.
failed.
Just
Failed.
okay.
Ziggy, Maika Monroe's performance.
She's great, man. You know, like I said, I felt like what they wanted you to believe was this. Whatever happened to her just before her 9th birthday is what is kind of harboring her existence to this whole time, you know, and who she is. You don't get a whole lot of backstory of her growing up. We just see her fucking 20 years later. So, but she's great. She does great. She carries it. She's better than Agent Sterling because the comparisons to Silence of the Lambs can't be ignored here.
Yes, they can.
You think they can?
I think they can. I think that's cheap reach for me.
That doesn't stay on the same track with it, man, but it does hit a lot of the same beats because they get him, they have an interrogation, although he doesn't kill himself. But
Oh, okay.
she's better. She's a more. She's not as stoic of an FBI agent as Agent Sterling was, but she carries it well. I'm rooting for her the whole time.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I don't like the comparisons to Silence of the Lambs just because it's an FBI serial killer thing. That's the
vibe, dude.
That's a fair comparison. I don't know.
At the beginning,
Well,
especially up until the first.
I've heard comparisons to that, Seven, Zodiac, and all three of those are more. Although they are all dark films, they're more mainstream.
I could see Seven
This is not mainstream.
No,
No, but it still fits that mold to an extent. Like I've been saying after I've seen this, and I can say it again. I'll say it again when we eventually get to ranking it. I've seen this movie before, not exactly, but I've seen it before. I mean,
Yeah.
Signs of the Lambs, 7, like we named them all.
you named them all. It's true.
So it's not a bad thing. I mean,
of
hell, I've
course
seen
not.
slashers before too, and they're all essentially the same. But I've seen this movie before.
Bullshit. The influence is fucking there. It's absolutely there.
There's influence, yeah, but like too many people are saying this is just like Silence of the Lambs, and I strong.
Yeah.
It's got a much darker fucking path than Silence of the Lambs.
I don't know if he did I take a shit or he got lost.
He just
We're
disappeared.
rolling. Here he comes.
And we're back.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I hit a button on my
Oh,
laptop. See, there we go. Tarek or Luke, nothing like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I agree, but it's in the same style. It's the same style movie. I mean,
Hi, baby.
Anybody else got anything to say about Maika? I
I
thought this
just
was a
thought
great performance.
I thought she did a
great.
great performance. She carried the film very well.
we should keep this moving.
Yes, a good choice.
She was great.
This was one of her best roles by far.
Oh, yeah.
I again, I'm gonna say, she played that maybe just socially awkward, but she played that autistic, just touch of autism. What? I'm saying it. There's something there.
There's something there.
One of these days, I'm gonna find an interview where she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
We need
She's
a
on the
character
spectrum.
synopsis, the script, casting synopsis. This is what's going on.
If it's there, then
I'm with you.
I'll believe it. But until
Yeah.
then, I don't want to be too quick to assume. That's my take.
There's too many clues there that make. But I think she played
aren't
it
wrong.
great.
Yes.
I think she played it great. All right. Nobody gives a shit, so we're just gonna move on.
It's just we're getting past time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alicia
we're
Witt.
Yeah.
Go.
She played,
Believable.
she played a good crazy mom. I'm gonna rapid fire this. You
Yes,
guys
very
doing good.
believable, disturbing. She was good. She made me, I felt bad for her, but I really disliked her too.
Oh, shit. This is why I hate rushing everything. Back to Maika Monroe. Ariel wanted to talk about the breathing.
Oh yeah.
That was her main complaint about the character was she kept like going through this hyperventilating thing. So,
Which would not happen if you were a FBI agent. You would not make it. They would be like, "What the fuck? They heard you coming a mile away." So yeah, that was took me out of it too. And like every time I was like, Jesus, does this chick have asthma or something? What the fuck is going on here? But yes, hyperventilating. Yes, she was getting anytime there was a high tension thing where her life was on the fucking line, where you should be absolutely fucking quiet, she was breathing her ass off.
I guess I was too into the story to really notice it, but
I'm with you,
brought that up.
Greg. I was too into it. I didn't even notice the breathing. I'm still not noticing it now that we're talking about it. But
I noticed it this last time. I went to see it again today, and I noticed it today. But I was kind of looking for it, so that happens.
Considering the situation she was in, you wouldn't be doing that. That's where I was kind of like, oh, geez.
I understand what you're saying with like the FBI training and everything, but again, I think they're making some exceptions for her. She may be less than qualified for the FBI in these areas, but more than qualified in these areas, so it balances out.
Gotcha. All right. It's a good interpretation. I like it.
That's just what I'm saying.
It actually works. I like that. Yes, but it did.
I could see, but yeah, after watching it again, I could see where it definitely could irritate Ariel and anybody else. But Luke says Maika killed it. Loved her performance. Yeah, there we go. All right, back to Alicia Witt. Colonel said, "Great, crazy old lady." Ziggy.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I mean, just absolutely
shit.
disturbing. Yeah.
All right, FaZe, anything to add?
Not really. I mean, she was, great, crazy old lady. I mean,
I said
she wasn't really the part that lost it for me in the finale there. So I just don't have much to say about her character, I guess. Just she didn't bring it down at all.
She went to that dark place when she pulled that knife. That was cool. The look was great.
I love Alicia Witt. I've loved Alicia Witt for fucking years. I thought she was great in Urban Legend. She was one of the few highlights in the last few seasons of The Walking Dead. I'm glad she's back a little bit in the horror world now. There was one scene where Lee is asking her about what happened to her on her 9th birthday. And there's a scene where Alicia Witt closes her eyes for a second and just kind of takes in the moment and then says nothing. I don't think I remember. But the way I saw it anyway, maybe I'm wrong, is it felt like she's playing it like I don't want to talk about this, but there's also a little bit of weight coming off of her. Like she feels good that she's finally being able, maybe getting closer to being able to tell her secret to her daughter. There's a layered performance there, and I really, really dug that part.
Yeah, but it almost turns into like a blaming game. It's your fault I had to do all that horrible shit.
Right. Peter Anthony says, yes, she gave me Carrie vibes.
Oh, God. Piper Laurie?
Yeah.
Fucking A, bro. Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
She's a great actress, though. I've always liked her. I interviewed her years ago for an album she put out. And I don't know if I still have her email. I may try to.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah. All right. Written and directed by Osgood Perkins, otherwise known as Oz Perkins, otherwise known as the son of the late, great Tony Perkins. I thought this was great. I love the directing. I love the style. There's a couple of plot holes that we kind of talked about and some stuff that maybe could have used some more attention to detail, according to FaZe. But I was very, very happy with this one. Ziggy.
The guy can tell a tale, clearly got talent. His last couple of outings, what was the fucking one I was just checking out? God, never mind. I'm just going to keep moving. He's been doing good work. This is no different. It's plot holes aside, and it's still he can tell the tale, man. He gets you there, and you might not like where he takes you at the end, but he can still. He's smart enough to get the right crew around him to make it look right, and I can't wait to see what's coming next.
They didn't really make a big deal out of the periodness of this, like the early mid '90s, but it still fit.
That? Yeah, it wasn't about that.
No, but it still worked. It still worked very well. So,
the set design was cool, man. It was fine.
Oh yeah. Colonel?
No, I thought the directing was great. I'm kind of with you guys. He definitely knows how to tell a story. His writing, like I said, plot holes. I would have liked a little more description on certain aspects. There were key points to the plot. That would have went a long way. I mean, you already had an hour 40 long time. You could have stretched another 10 minutes. You could make it 2 hours. Would have been fine. Hurt nobody.
You know what? That's a great point, Colonel. This is actually a place where adding 10 or 15 minutes probably would have fucking saved a little bit of this and help flesh some shit out. Continue.
Holy shit. Really? Colonel finally wants a longer fucking movie?
He's
Dude,
right.
I don't mind 2-hour movies. I don't mind 3-hour movies. Just be fucking good. And it
I'm
doesn't
the
have to
one
be a
that
slow burn to get that. Like,
Wow.
I mean,
He's
I've watched Terrifier 2 multiple times.
Ooh, multiple
Honestly,
times?
the more I watch it, the longer it feels. But the
Wow.
first time, it flew by. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, I like the gore in it, man. I can't help it.
Man, I think I had to take like 2 shits during the first time I watched that movie.
No, I'm
Hey.
sorry, it's not a Hollywood film, Crank. It's not
No,
bad.
I know it's not a Hollywood film. Neither is this. Neither is Longlegs. So, they're both independent.
Yeah, but still, it's more Hollywood than Terrifier 3. It's just because of Nick Cage, but he's done other independent films too. So you're not wrong. I'm just saying it feels less independent than Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
That's all.
I thought about this in terms of Oz Perkins' direction in this. This story or this script, or maybe not script, but this story could have been handed to another director, and it could have been like a 45 minute movie, like easily. Yeah, but I liked the pacing and the direction of this. Could I see it going longer to give a little bit more explaining? Sure. But, maybe that's what a director's cut is for when the Blu-ray comes out.
Or there is a charm to leaving it up to you, your interpretation of it as well. A lot of people love that shit, They love that. So I get it. I get the application here. But, I don't know, man. I think I'd probably err to the side. I'd rather see 10 or 15 more minutes, explain the dolls and kind of general and what the orb, how they're tuned in and how that shit works and how it poisons everybody. What's the spell? Let's see that shit, get into that. Where'd you get it from?
I don't think I don't need to know.
I
don't. Mute.
I can't unmute him. Anyways.
I can unmute me.
There he goes.
Yeah, Phase.
But yeah, just God, where's my train of thought going there? But yeah, I agree with Ziggy. I would have liked more explanation there at the very least. To get into the writing and directing, I really liked the directing. I really liked the filmography. I really liked how this whole thing was shot. The writing, I went over all my complaints. I hate plot holes. I did not like the ending, unlike some people here. It didn't do it for me in its entirety. It started off great. It did not end out great.
Yeah. All right, final thoughts and ranking. Start with Phase.
Okay, well,
since you basically just gave your final thoughts anyway, so
basically, yeah. I mean, didn't like the plot holes. Didn't like. If you're gonna make a movie about kangaroos, research kangaroos. But in this case, if you're gonna make a movie about Satan, research Satan. I don't know. That bothered me a little more than it probably should have. Hearing your guys' thoughts, and I also hate a bad ending. I don't want to call it a bad ending, but very dissatisfying. You guys know that about me. I hate bad endings. It's a bad last impression. I don't want to give it such a low score, but I'm going to give it a 6. The filmography saves it, but yeah, it's a 6 for me.
All right, Ziggy.
Tend to feel the same way, man. I love the way this thing started and style to it as it went on. I was with it, but as it got on to the end, that last act, man, it's the same kind of thing. I needed a little bit more, I think, to really get me hooked on this. I like that interpretation, but not as much as these guys. So, I mean, I did like the film, though, and my argument here is, did I like it as much or better than Maxine? And that's where I'm struggling. I'm gonna just go with what I thought at first. I'm gonna say 7.5.
All right, Colonel.
No, it's the soundtrack, fantastic. Sonography, fantastic. Lighting, fantastic. 2/3 of this movie, fantastic. Like I said, they kind of lost me in the third act. Again, great acting too. It sucks to say I like so much about this movie, but honestly, with only one viewing, I'm going to give it a 6.5. But if I was to watch it a second time, its score would probably go up. I'll be honest with you. I just with the one viewing, I need to watch it again.
I can almost guarantee it would go up because there's a few things that you will catch on the second viewing that are pretty cool when you get there. Jesus. Well, I'm surprised no one said it yet, but this movie is definitely crank as fuck. I dug the shit out of this movie.
That bugs me because I usually like crank as fuck movies.
Colonel was the first one I think to mention the soundtrack in the final thoughts at least. And like I said, I mean, there's not a whole lot of music in the movie, and when it's there, it's effective as shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sound design in and of itself that is like crazy good. With the wind and the old houses and the there's a lot. But man, the music is great, and there's nothing special to it. It's just like that ambient background stuff, but it's not used in an ambient way. And I kind of dug that it was so loud in some areas. I love the acting in this. There was like every single character had a great moment. Like one of those just scene-stealing moments. Cage had several, but in the few minutes that he's on screen. I don't know much else that this guy has done before, Osgood Perkins anyway. But I'm definitely going to go back and look for whatever else he's done. So, this is close to one of my favorite movies of the year. Now, I don't know where it's going to end up totally. I'm going to give it an 8 for right now. I originally had it at a 9, but I'm going to lay off my 9 for a little bit and give it an 8 for right now. But I will definitely be buying this as soon as it's available on Blu-ray.
From what I'm hearing, the Black Coat's daughter is what's put him on the map. That's what you're going to want to see first. But he did the Gretel and Hansel movie.
And I didn't like that well.
Yeah. It looks like Legally Blonde. Stuff like that.
Legally Blonde?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was just a whatever on it here. I'm looking at just... Let's see.
He may have been a cameo or something.
Right.
Because I don't know where you're looking, but...
No, I just pulled up films directed by Osgood Perkins.
Yeah.
Grandson Hell, The Pretty Young Things, The Monkey.
I'll look at it later.
Yeah.
So.
Not many.
Fair enough.
But the Black Coat's daughter is the one that everyone says is what put this guy,
I have heard of that, so
made him relevant.
All right. Peter says he had it at an 8.5, so great score.
Great score. Yep. I knew Peter said he loved it, man, and I was like, wow, and he was really, really blowing it up. And I was like, I usually hear him talk about films like this, So.
I'll have to go back and watch his review. I saw that he did a little video with his niece right as they came out of the theater, but I didn't get a chance to. Well, I didn't want to watch it before I'd really seen the movie or before we do our thing. I try not
I
to watch
think he's
reviews.
gonna do a full video on it too. 8.5. That's I understand. I get it, man. I just like I said, just a couple of little things that just made me knock it down a little bit.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's our take on Longlegs in theaters now. Doing pretty well at the box office from what I understand, like 22, 24, something like that.
Wonder what they paid Cage.
On a less than $10 million budget. So I know
Cage
that much.
Got 5.
He probably got 7, 8.
Right.
But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We're kind of up in the air on what's coming up next week. We got to do homework on a couple of different things possibly, but I'm waiting for a potential booking. So we'll see. I can't really make an announcement yet, so can't tell you what's coming next week. But stay tuned as soon as we know.
There's one up the road too. That's really cool. We can't talk about.
Yeah.
I haven't even mentioned the Sylvia Colatina interview coming at you in now a month's time, 1 month away.
Is that really? All right.
Yeah.
But before we go, we got to thank our members one more time. Thanks to Chris, Lorena, BD, Alex, Tyrone, and Robert, the new one.
Robert Staley.
Yeah. Also, thanks to our Crazy Ralph's, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn Enchilada Pod. And thanks to our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy, Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Patricia, Kirsten, and JJ. And of course, if you want to become a member, check out deathcursesociety.com. Head on over to the membership tab. Check out the tiers and figure out what you can do.
Just like Robert Staley did tonight. Thank you.
Yeah,
and
just like Robert Staley did.
He did it. You can do it. And it helps us out. Gets us to a town near you. And that kind of stuff.
And of course, thanks to our associate producer, C. Faze. Faze, send them out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. This is definitely a fun movie to review. I definitely enjoyed. I got shitting on it a little bit. I don't want to shit on it entirely, but whatever. As always, I don't really have a thing that I say every time. I usually just say good night and thank you for watching. So, Zach, I'll hand it off to you.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm kind of like, that's 2 movies in a row. A little bit disappointed with Maxine and fucking Longlegs. So, I don't know, man. There's we're still waiting on Salem's Lot. There's a couple other hopes left here, but we'll see. We got great shit coming at you. Morgan Crypt is our next stop for now. And that's going to be a fucking madhouse. I can't wait for it. But keep joining us. We will keep bringing the horror every week and the good content. The horror can sit on the bed. Colonel.
That's right. Yeah, I'm tired of shit. My alarm goes off in 6 hours. So, fellas, don't get sick. Wash your dick. Ladies, don't smell like Scuba Steve. Use Summer's Eve. If you use it wrong, go see it. Poison. Call the Poison Control Center. They'll help you out. And sorry, Corey, I'll get caught up in AEW for next Monday for you, buddy.
Nice.
All right, that's it. We'll catch you next week. Have a good one. Woo!
Just in the middle of a dream. Wow.